Hello, Jamie Goode here. I'm tasting wine on camera, and I'm tasting 5 wines now from Japanese winery Château Mercian, who are one of the leading producers in the country, beginning with this wine here, which is a Koshu. But this isn't just any old Koshu. This is the tank number R133, tank selection Kiroka Cuvée Unio, and it comes from the Iwade district in Yamanashi, which is one of the main regions in Japan. It's 2019 vintage. So let's give this a quick whirl. Koshu, very famous grape in Japan. It's technically a hybrid. It's got large clusters with big berries as they ripen, turn this beautiful pink colour. So this was made with juice stabulation, which is a new technique they're trying out, and it's extremely aromatic. It's got this wonderful matchstick, spicy, it's like reductive, but good reduction character on the nose. Really beautiful. Smoky and mineral. And the palate, very fresh, lemony, pure, precise, but there's enough texture there to counter that sort of mineral smokiness. And there's also just a really nice acid line to this wine. It's very bright and precise. It's a Koshu with real personality. Sticking with the Koshu grape variety, the second wine is this, which is the Goode degree. So this is from Yamanashi. It's from the Fuefuki district. And it's 2019 vintage as well. And this has 4 weeks of skin contact and a mixture of vessels, mainly larger oak, but also I think some stainless steel in it. Spends 4 weeks there, and it weighs in at 11.5% alcohol, which is the same as the other Koshu. Look at the colour of this. It's got this beautiful sort of I don't know how to describe it. It's not really pink. It's more of a sort of a yellow gold, maybe with a bit of bronze colour. Lovely nose, and some nuts and apples, a bit of honey maybe, and lovely sort of citrus peel characters as well. In the mouth, lovely freshness, texture, a little hint of oak. There's no new oak in this, but it's just picked up a little hint of oak. Lovely citrus and apple characters. Very distinctive and very harmonious. This is a really successful one. I like this a lot. I think it's got a beautiful personality. And for the 2021 vintage, Mercian are going to be experimenting with a Georgian Qvevri, which they've just bought. They won't ferment it in the Qvevri, but they'll age it in the Qvevri. This is a thoughtful wine. It's got a lovely savoury character as well as these fruit characters. I think it's quite unique. Let's move on to 3 reds, beginning with a unique variety to Japan actually, Muscat Baillier, and it's this one here. And Muscat Baillier is a hybrid grape variety, extremely popular. Has, again, it's a bit like Koshu. It has quite big berries, and it's pretty disease resistant. And this is a single vineyard Muscat Baillier from Hosaka district in Yamanashi, 2018 vintage. And this spends quite a long time. I believe it's 26 months in oak, mixture of French and American, which is quite long élevage. But the colour is really bright. It's a bright cherry colour. Lovely aromatics. It's fresh, supple, juicy. There's a hint of oak there, but the main theme on the nose is these juicy, bright fruit characters that Muscat Baillier is capable of. Palate, it's got lovely, sweet, supple, juicy fruit, framed nicely by a bit of oak, a bit of smoky oak. When I initially opened it before, the oak was more prominent, but the oak has kind of receded a bit now. And it was this lovely, juicy, fruity quality to this wine. It's surprising considering how long it's been in oak. I like the purity a great deal. And now, after being open for a bit, it's got this slightly jellied, candied quality to the fruit, which is a I think a giveaway of Muscat Baillier. I like Muscat Baillier. It is what it is. I think it's really a really interesting variety that makes some quite delicious wines. But I know that some people who have got this massive vinifera focus aren't as open-minded, which is a shame because it's a variety that can make some really cool wines. And in Yamanashi, which is one of the main regions, I think it does really well. And vinifera sometimes can struggle in some of the spots in Yamanashi because it can be very humid and it rains quite a bit during the growing season. So there we go. That's the Muscat Baillier. Next, we're heading to Nagano, which is the other main region apart from Yamanashi, the two big regions. And Nagano is a more mountainous region, and this comes from the Mariko vineyard, which is where Mercian have got their new winery, which is really quite fancy. This is a Syrah, and it's 2017 Mariko vineyard. So let's give this a whirl. This is a wine I've liked a great deal in the past. Oh, it's beautiful notes. It's really, really fantastic. It's just peppery and bright, fresh, real detail here. Black cherries, red cherries, and then this beautiful rotundo and peppery character. Palate, linear, bright, juicy, very, very pure, lovely fruit quality, and then this fantastic peppery notes as well. Good acidity, a little bit of tannin, a really elegant expression of cool climate Syrah. This is really cool climate. And this is a result of a really good viticulture and very sensitive winemaking, and I think it's fantastic. So yeah, the Syrah is a real highlight. Finally, the very fancy Omnis. Now this is a flagship wine. It's 2017 vintage. This is a Bordeaux blend, and this comes from the Mariko vineyard again, the same vineyard as the Syrah. And it's a Cabernet Franc, then Merlot, and then a bit of Cabernet Sauvignon, and also 6% Petit Verdot as a spicy element to add something to the blend. And this is matured for a long time in barrel. I believe that a good proportion of the barrels are new as well. I think it's 60%. I should check that. But and it's aiming to be a very grand Bordeaux style wine. What's it like? It's beautifully aromatic. It's got this lovely gravelly quality to the nose. You know, pencil shavings, blackcurrant, a little bit of spice. It certainly is very Bordeaux style, but with a real freshness and purity. Palate, it's effortless. It's just a beautifully seamless with very fine blackcurrant, black cherry qualities. It's really very impressive. Now this has benefited a great deal from being open an hour or so. I tried all these wines with the Mercian team at 9 o'clock this morning. Yeah, this is very refined. Concentrated, lovely fruit. It's not overripe at all. It's 14% alcohol, but it's not overripe. And there's good acidity as well. It's just retained this massive freshness. This is a really, really impressive wine. I'm impressed with all the wines, but I guess the one that really wins my heart is probably the Syrah, but there's some honourable mentions for all of them, really. The wild card is the Muscat Baillier. I think that's a really good example of Muscat Baillier, but I would say that Muscat Baillier is something that some people will love, some people will struggle a little with. It's a little different, but these are lovely wines. Thanks for watching.